Welcome back to Death Toll Racing. This is episode 2 of our twin turbo Crown Vic build. I'm just going to let you guys see everything I'm doing is self-explanatory. We are fabricating the intake tube and our exhaust system going to the turbos, and then I'll be back with you at the end and I'll explain. I make some mistakes in this, and some of them could have been a pretty bad mistake. So I'll get back with you at the end. Otherwise, just check it out. This is pretty cool, fun fabrication stuff. There's links down in the description below for the parts I'm using, and also some videos like the tubing expander and stuff that you'll see me using. How I made that. I made a video on how I made that. And otherwise, we'll see you here at the end. All right, guys. So that's as far as I got. So I told you I'd release them Monday, Wednesday, Friday, no matter where it was. And then I got a little bit distracted because I had to change a water heater in a building, a gas on-demand water heater. So it kind of occupied some of my finishing time, but it doesn't matter anyway because I was missing a couple parts to finish this the exhaust and the intake yesterday. So they don't give you these flanges in this kit. Really, really stupid thing to not give you, but they don't. I don't know why. And then I started looking at a bunch of those kits because there's quite a few of them. I think they're all basically the same kit. I started looking at those and none of them give you, I don't know why they don't give you those. So I had to order some. They're not here yet. If I don't get them in time for next episode, I'm just going to make them. We're going to be making them. And then we'll have to surf some ourselves and all that stuff, which we'll have to get creative on. But I can show you how to make something like that. So the wastegate, that's not going to work. I was talking to a guy. I was treating it more as like a blow-off valve, thinking I'm like, well, it'd probably work, but it's not. It won't work. It's like a 90% chance it won't work. Once this car's all tuned and everything, I may, because I'm just going to make a cap to block that off. I may actually try it, take the other wastegates off and try it and see if it'll work, just to maybe blow some people's minds if it does. But it's most likely not going to. So you may be seeing just a experiment coming up later after this car's running. But for now, what we're going to end up doing is doing it the right way, which is putting the wastegates right at this bend. So you want the exhaust to come down the exhaust and basically go straight into the inlet valve of the wastegate. This is all stuff I've learned since I obviously put it there. Obviously I didn't know. So it should, that's the ideal way of making it, go right into that valve of the wastegate and then dump. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run one here, and then we're gonna run one on this side. So this side's a little trickier. What I might do is it'll end up being asymmetrical, which I hate. But one will be on the outside, and then this one, we may put a pipe in right here. And so it's basically mounted in the same spot. It's just going to be aimed at this pipe here. And then we'll keep our H pipe, which hopefully won't mess with us. I don't think it will. It shouldn't mess with us, but it may. You never know. And then when we go to plumb these in, and we'll go over all this when I do it, but you plumb them together. One wastegate controller, which is off your boost line, off the intake. One wastegate controller controls both. You don't use two separate ones, otherwise you'll be fighting forever to try to dial them in at the same time. So that's how that works. So we're going to end up taking this whole system down before we run it, and we're going to paint it. We're obviously have to finish welding it and stuff anyway. We're going to paint it. We're going to wrap it in fiberglass. So the whole exhaust system will be wrapped in fiberglass. And that will keep, one, the heat in the exhaust, and two, it'll hopefully keep heat out of our charge line there. So this is just hung up by one zip tie right now. So we got to come up with a way of mounting that as well. The easiest thing to do would be to put cool little tabs on the exhaust that I can mount the intake to, but then I get heat transfer going from the exhaust into the intake tube. So I don't really want to do that if I can avoid it. There may be a scenario where we just have to, and it won't be a ton of heat, but it would be heat. So the less heat we can introduce into that line, the better. And I think, okay, so just to touch on this a little bit, we're not running intercooler on this car. Most guys don't on the rear systems. It's just more volume to fill up, and the line itself tends to dissipate enough heat that it's basically, because the line is so long, it acts as an intercooler. But if I do need to end up running an intercooler because my intake air temps get too high, instead of doing that, we're going to try doing an injection system, which is like a water methanol blend. And we'll try with that first, and see if we can't get the problem resolved with that. And that's probably going to be just like a heavy use, like heat soak type scenario when we'll have to use that. And I believe those kits, and I haven't looked into them yet, but I'm imagining that they have some sort of a switch on them that will vary off temp, but maybe they don't have any sort of temperature. Maybe it's just like full throttle and it injects. I don't know. But I'm going to look into those a little bit. I'm not going to go too hard because I don't think we're going to need it, especially on the low. We're not going to be running a ton of boost. We're only going to be running, I want to stay at 7 We may go up to 8. I'm not going to go over 8. Whatever we can get at 8 is where we're going to be. We're not going to go over 8 for now. Not with the motor and tranny the way it's set up now. We're going to keep it under 8 or less. And I want to try to hit 400 at 7. We might even be able to do that at 6, but you never know. We'll see. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week. Hopefully we'll get this exhaust finished up, the intake finished up on the next week, the blow-off valve, and we'll get our wastegates properly mounted and all that stuff. And then hopefully we'll get our exhaust flanges, but that should be all done. So then I can spend the rest of the week focusing on the oil system and fuel system. And there's really not a lot left to do after that. So that's going to come quick. I did order because I'm afraid I'm just going to blow the tranny up, and I don't want to blow it up right away. So I ended up ordering a Transgo shift kit. So we're going to do that. We're going to put that in the transmission. But while I'm doing that, I'm also going to talk about the J mod. So if you don't want to spend the money on the Transgo, and there are some differences, and we'll go over all those when we do it. There's quite a bit of differences. There is a lot of advantages to doing the Transgo kit versus just doing the J mod. But if you're on a budget and you want to do it as cheap as possible, the J mod's going to be for you. So and the J mod's good. It'll make the transmission last a lot longer. There's just some benefits of running the Transgo system that we'll talk about when we go, and it's not very expensive. I think it was like $130 for the Transgo kit, so it's not that much. It comes with new valves and that type of thing. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you again on Wednesday.